Okay, so I am 3/10 of the mile, approximately, according to my odometer, from the main road. I understand that the top of this little ridge right here, there's another ridge back behind it, but this little ridge right here, right around one of these little pine trees, is where the property corner is, and it runs up the top of that ridge some way and ends about 50 yards from the top of this ridge up here. So this is kind of landlocked. And then the back property line, it turns about a 90 and runs from 50 yards down from that ridge across, but angles up towards the top of the, to end about maybe, I can't remember if they said 10 to 30 yards from the top of the ridge on that back corner. So this bottom corner runs down through here, down through this valley, which that valley is going to be really inaccessible and unbuildable. Might be able to fence it in and graze animals on it, but runs back through here, up this valley, up to somewhere around the top of this hill. I don't know how much of this is owned by the neighbor. I know that he owns the top of this some ways back. But the property line goes from there across the tops of these hills. These are really steep. That's probably 15 feet. The top of that. No way building a road in there. That's kind of inaccessible. And then on my odometer, it said it was about another, roughly, because all I have is tenths of a mile, about another tenth of a mile up this road, which is probably about a 20% grade, rutted here. About another tenth of a mile from here up to where I turn to go back down the driveway. So property line would extend up on the top of this hill somewhere, not sure how far in, along the road, eventually coming back to meet the road, or the road meets it, maybe. Neighbors are telling me that there needs to be a ditch here for the water to go through, but this hillside's sloughing off into it. Looks like there was a bit of a ditch there at some point, but that needs to be redug. Keep the road from rutting out. I could definitely see how you'd need a good four-wheel drive with good tires at the least to get up this if there's any kind of snow on it. But yeah, I could definitely see where culverts need to be put in on this road. And maybe a culvert would fix it. Fix all this rutting dirt through this section. But it's kind of down to dirt here. There's some gravel, but imagine this gets muddied and rutted. But see, there's a ditch. Let's see if there's a culvert down here. There is a culvert. So I don't know why the water's running down the road instead of that ditch. Still pretty steep, but the road's rising to meet this hill a little bit. That's still 10 feet up. That looks relatively flat at the top of that hill, but I don't know how far back the neighbor owns that. Yeah, I'm not sure why the water's running. This ditch is not very well filled in, or it's pretty filled in. Right there, good ditch, bad ditch. So like I said, about 1/10 of a mile we're gonna walk here. Now we're getting closer to about 5 feet. And somewheres, that's looking pretty flat for a little ways. There almost might have been a road up there at some point, but I don't know how far back the neighbor's property goes though. Need to try to find a stake. But yeah, there's no ditch here for water to run. So they're getting some pretty bad rutting. I would almost say this looks like it was a road at some point. And this could be about halfway in between the driveway and the neighbor's house. This could be about where this property meets the road. So I don't know. This looks like a little road cut in right here. I didn't really noticed this before. But once again, I don't know if this is the neighbor. That's relatively flat. Let me see. I think the driveway to this property is cut into the side of that hill, or is it up higher maybe? Starts down there at that gate and it goes pretty. I don't know, I'll walk up there and take a video back down. But this is not too horribly steep through here. But once again, I don't know who this is on. I gotta find a property marker. But this is a relatively flat little road right here. I gotta find the property markers and walk them. Yeah. Oh, there's some elk. This is an old road. This is actually kind of promising. I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I don't want to walk this. I don't know whose property this is. Well, surely it's okay. Feeling like the farther back this goes, though, this might be on Levi. It might be on Levi right now. I hope he won't be upset. I just don't know. Well. Yeah. He definitely owns to somewhere in here. I just don't know if his stops on top of this hill or goes back up in here. Well, hell, there's the trailer. I can see the trailer and I can see the IBC tote that's on this side of the... There's the IBC tote that's on this side of the... Right there, IBC tote. Between driveways on just the other side of it. There's the trailer at the top of the hill. guess the question all becomes is whose road is this though? But this is relatively, let me zoom back out. This isn't too steep right here. I mean 22% maybe, but a little bit of earthwork could make this real. I imagine you could probably turn this into a relatively flat area. And that other finger over there is not too bad. I don't think his house has got to be 40 yards away. I don't know how far up in here he owns. Anyway, yeah, well, this isn't too bad. This isn't as bad as I thought. I don't know, it might be a little bit more than 22. I mean, if this is 90, this would be 45. That's probably about 22 degrees. That over there is relatively, I mean, if that was, that's not real too bad. Anyway, I'll come back and walk that finger. I mean, you really can't go much farther here. You can go up the hill, but the slope's about the same up to the driveway. But this could be a potential drive into this bottom portion. I should have asked. Maybe if Levi comes home, maybe I can ask him. I'm 12 minutes in. I'm going to cut this off. I'll start over when I get back to the driveway. That might be even flatter.